Thank you very much. Grab a seat. How you guys doing? Who hates math? Raise your hand. Good. Good to know where you are. Who loves math? Raise your hand. And who's sort of in the middle and could care less about math? Okay, that's all right, because we're going to try to tip you the other way, all right? Like Jim said, my name is Scott Flansburg. I'm in the Guinness Book of World Records as the fastest human calculator. And so I'm going to do a demonstration for you in a minute. But the most time we're going to spend today is on you. It's not about me. I have a gift, and I want to share it with you. But I believe the most important time we can share today is making sure that you can leave here doing something that you never thought you could do, to truly encapsulate that superhero feeling. And so to get started, is James in the back? Hey, come on up, James. Everybody give James a hand. He's going to run the calculator for us. We have a calculator. Okay, so I have to get started. I am not an athlete. I'm a mathlete, all right? All of you athletes know that you have to stretch out your body first and warm up. But as a mathlete, I have to warm up my brain first. So we're going to do some basic stuff and then try harder stuff as we go. But I'll need some volunteers to pick some numbers. So we need some really heavy voices probably to be able to have everybody here. So do I have a volunteer? Anybody? Okay, let's start right in the front. What's your name? Anton. So let's start off with addition, all right? Let's do two-digit numbers to get started. So you'll say like 73. I'll say plus. You say another two-digit number. I'll say plus. Back and forth we're going to go. I'm going to try to add them up in my head. He's going to do it on the calculator. I have screens all around me, so it's very easy to cheat. I do not want to cheat. I don't need to cheat. So I will close my eyes. I'm going to go way over here next to James so I can't see these screens. I'll be over here. It's nothing personal against that side of the room. I just want to make sure I'm not cheating. So, Anton, you ready? We've got a 0 on the board, right? Where's our calculators? We got a 0. Okay, I'll close my eyes. You're going to say a number. I'll say plus. Back and forth we go. You ready? Okay, loud and clear. Ready? Go ahead.
47.
Plus.
56.
Plus.
98.
Plus.
32.
Plus.
12.
Plus.
19.
Plus.
27.
One more.
63.
354. Yeah, all right. Good job, Anton. Thank you very much. Thank you. Now I'm just curious, how many of you can do that? Remember your reaction to me asking you that. Most of you started laughing out loud. Some of you totally dismissed it. But I promise you, every one of you in this room can do what I just did, adding up a bunch of two-digit numbers in my head with no pencil, no paper. I figured out how to do that when I was 9 years old, so I'll share it with you, and it's real easy, all right? But let's keep moving forward. Need another volunteer? Somebody with a strong voice, please. You want to try it? You got to shout it out. Okay, what's your name? Kate. Kate, let's do a little more addition, please. Let's try three-digit numbers, all right? So I'll move over here. James, you ready to go? So you say a three-digit number, plus, back and forth we go.
Brilliant.
I'm ready when you are.
I don't have to shout. Awesome. 356.
Just say it normal like a human, 356.
356.
Just kidding, all right? So 356 plus?
120.
Sorry?
120.
356 plus 120 plus?
742.
Plus?
893.
Plus?
567.
One more.
129.
2797. Oh, I think you guys typed it in wrong, just so you know, all right? Just check. Oh, we can look at the numbers. We'll rewind the tape, all right? But I promise you, I can usually do this very well, all right? Now, let's try one more. I need one more volunteer, please. Somebody else with a microphone. Okay, yeah, stay on the same table. Thank you. All right, let's try one more three-digit, all right? I just want to make sure I'm still warming up. Go ahead.
392.
Plus.
681.
Plus.
916.
Plus.
243.
See, it's the calculator, isn't it? See, the heck with it. We don't have to do it anymore. I'm redeemed. All right, so let's move on. Let's try something tougher. We'll try multiplication, all right? Let's clear the calculator. James, thanks, buddy. You're making me look good. Don't worry about it. All right. Let's try multiplication, all right? Let's try two-digit numbers, and I'm going to multiply them together while he does it on there.
96.
Times?
74.
That's 296. 7104, right? 7104. Let's try another one. I'll get faster as we go. It's all right.
83.
You guys can all do that. 83 times.
91.
That's 7553, right? Yeah, all right. And I'm not memorizing this. I'm calculating, I promise you, all right? Let's try one more volunteer, please. Somebody close to him, if you don't mind, just to keep it logistically easy. Oh, hi. How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
What's your name?
Temris.
Okay, let's try something tougher. What do we do there? That's too easy, right? Because you can even do that, right? Let's try division, all right? Let's do 3-digit divided by a 1-digit. Use weird numbers so we'll get some decimals and stuff, all right? So 3-digit by 1-digit.
337
divided by
5.
67.4. Those are easy. Let's try another one. Come on, make it tough.
Okay. 982
982 divided by
7.
140.285, 714, 285, 714, 285, something like that. All right, okay, got it done. We're good. Good job. All right, thank you. All right, so I guess I'm warmed up now. And who has a calculator right in front of them real handy? Oh, if you do, I only need one or two. James is going to do this, but I could cheat because there's too many screens. But if you have a calculator or an iPhone or, you want to do this, go ahead. I usually do square roots, but square roots are really easy. People memorize square roots. It's easy to figure those out. So we're going to try cube roots, a little bit tougher, all right? So on your calculator, clear the calculator. And James, you do this too. I won't look. All right, everybody punch in like a crazy 2-digit number to get started. And then hit the times key. And then hit the same 2-digit number again. And hit the times key. And hit the same 2-digit number again. And hit equals. So you should get a big answer on your screen, right? So everybody that did that and you got it and you don't have an E on your screen, tell me the answer you came up with. And what I'll do is extract the cube root out of that number. You see what I mean? All right, so James, what'd you come up with? 47, yeah? Use 47. All right, let's try another one. Come on. Who else? Yep, loud and clear, please. 99. Okay, let's try a tougher one. All the way in the back. I missed the first one. 12167. Really? 23, I think, yeah? Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Let's try another one. Come on, somebody else? Somebody else get one way in the back. Go ahead. 25. Yeah, let's try one more. 82. Yeah, that's your I graduated high school almost. Go ahead. 328, 509 is 69. Very good. All right, one more. Anybody else got a tough one? Yeah, one more. 77, right? Yeah, he tried my nemesis number. That's good. All right, so now I can do numbers in my head, right? You believe me, I'm a human calculator. I have this superpower since I was 9 years old. When I was 11, my buddy had a calculator. His name's Andrew McKay. I always give him credit because your friends ask you the best questions sometimes that open up windows and opportunities in your life that you never would have found yourself. We all these blind spots. Andrew happened to ask me a great question at the right moment. On a calculator that he had, punch in 5 plus 5, please, James. And you should get 10, right? So now if James hits equals one more time, what will the calculator say? I heard 3 different answers. I heard 10, 15, and 20. Which one do you think it is? It's 15. Go ahead, James, hit equals. And keep hitting equals, get a nice little rhythm, and just show them how a calculator counts by a number. This is called a constant. My buddy had a calculator. He's like, Scott, we know you can do all these basic addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Can you do this? Our calculator is counting by a number. I'm just hitting equals. So he did 28 plus 28 equals. And he just started hitting equals. And he wanted me to add 28 over and over again. And it was like a sense awoke in my brain. I'll never forget it. I was in front of Mr. Murphy's class. I remember everything about it. And I'm sitting there and it's 28, 56, 84. And it just started making sense to me. And so I want to demonstrate that for you first. All right, so somebody over here, please pick a 2-digit number you'd like me to count by. Good number. 27 plus 27 equals. And you'll see that my brain gets going faster and faster, all right? So tell me when you're ready, James. You ready to rock and roll? Okay. So 27 plus 27 is 54, 81, 108, 135, 162, 189, 216, 243, 270, 297, 324, 351, 378, 405, 432, 459, 486, 513, 540, 567, 594, 621, 648, 675, 702, 729, 756, 783, 8108, 376, 489, 191, 894, 597, 2999, yada, 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 like that. Oh, three more. One more. Yeah, there you are, James. Good job. 999, all right? So that's my gift that I discovered when I was very young. And everybody's like, what do you do with that? Nobody knew what to do with me. My teacher thought I was an alien. They don't, nobody's wanted to talk to me. So it's just a gift. Nobody knew what to do with it. Well, I got very blessed. A friend of mine in Los Angeles, his name's Eric Schatz. He has a company called LMNO Productions. And I did a show for them a long time ago called How'd They Do That? And it's all about networking. It amazes me because years later, Eric got the rights to Guinness World Records TV show in America. And he called me up as a friend and said, Scott, what can we do with you to get you into the Guinness Book of World Records and get on the TV show? And then we talked about it, and I said, there's this one thing I can do, this counting by a number. And he goes, yeah, that's pretty crazy. Let's see if we can do that. So here's the contest they set up. They found the fastest accountant in the world that can run a 10-key calculator to race me counting by a number. So the judge chose the number 38. So I had to add 38 plus 38 plus 38 out loud as fast as I could, racing this guy on a calculator doing 38 plus 38 plus 38 plus 3, as fast as he could. At the end of the 15 seconds, he had 28 answers, and I had 35. So I actually beat the machine by 7. Since then, I've been invited to break that world record in London on TV there. I did it with 36. And in Japan, I got to 37 answers in 15 seconds. So I want to demonstrate for you what it sounds like when I'm going full speed. Because that first example, you can tell I went slow, medium, fast, and then I go crazy. This one, I'm just going to go crazy, all right? So, sir, would you pick a 2-digit number? 72, I like that. All right, so 72 plus 72. This time I'm going to try to go full speed. If anybody has a clock, if you have 15 seconds. Anybody who's got a watch? Clock, anybody? Who's going to be a timer? Come on, the iPhone has timers. You guys know that. All right, we have one. So when I say 72, you just start 15-second clock. And when I finish, just say stop or shut up or whatever you want. All right, you ready? Okay, we're doing 72, right? Ready, James? You got it? Okay, I'm ready to go. 2448. Let's see where we're at. Oh, that's divided by 72, and you should have 34 or something like that. I don't know. That should be 35. Go ahead, divide by 72. That'll be 35 answers, so 34. So you can see how fast I have to, everything has to be perfect to get to 37, so thank you very much. And what I didn't get to do on that show that I'd love to do now is, it was so funny. We did this, and I beat the calculator. The judge comes over, and he says, Scott, you're in the Guinness Book of World Records. And I don't know why, but if you go to a public school and you open up the library and you look in the library, the Guinness Book of World Records is in every school. Kids are fascinated by this book. When I go to schools and kids introduce me by opening up the Guinness Book of World Records and reading your world record, all the other kids in the room, it changes everything. It's an amazing thing to be in the Guinness Book of World Records. It's really an honor. I didn't realize how much energy it would have in my mission. But what was funny was we went to the commercial break, and the judge said, Scott, you beat the machine, you're in the book. He goes, but we think you're cheating. I was like, how do you cheat counting by 72? He goes, well, we think maybe you've just memorized all these numbers. Here we are at Jim Quick's memory class, right? I mean, you could memorize this stuff, Jim. If Jim just took a month off, he could memorize all the answers and count by 72 too, pretty fast. And I said, but that's not what I do. First off, I think calculating is faster than memorization. I can beat any memorization person on the planet Earth with calculation. I believe our minds calculate faster than they retrieve memory. Memory's second place, okay? But what I'm going to demonstrate for you is that I'm not memorizing this, that I can count by any number, all right? So let's go to this table over here. Sir, would you pick let's live on the edge. Calculator always starts at 0. So they thought I memorized every number starting at 0. I said, what if I could just count by starting at any number, then count by 72? They said, all right, that would prove to us you're not remember. Jim, you would agree it's tough to memorize every number from every number, right? Full-time job. All right, so pick a 3-digit number as our new 0 for this example. 873. Prime number almost. 291 times 3 and 97 times 9. But it's a good number, 873. I won't hold it against you. All right, so I'm just kidding. So we got 873. Now, I promise you I've never done this pattern before. I don't even know what he's going to say next, but I've never practiced starting at 873. So you have plus now. What 2-digit number do you want me to count by starting at 873? So you ready to go, James? You got 899, 925, 951, 977, 1003, 1029, 1055, 1081, 1107, 1133, 1159, 1185, 1211, 1237, 1263, 1289, 1315, 134, 11367, 1393, 1419, 1445, 1471, yada, yada, yada. It just keeps going. My brain is wired like a calculator, all right? So thank you. So I'm not memorizing, I'm calculating. So today, I want to show you that each one of you have a calculator in your brain. I'm very honored to be on a show right now called Superheroes with Stan Lee. an amazing thing. I just got back from Scandinavia. Every kid has watched that show over there on the Discovery or the History Channel. It's an amazing vehicle. It's really an honor to be considered superhuman, right? I mean, it's very rare, and to be on that show is one thing, but one of the things I just want to show you real quick is this, before you go, James, all right? Because it's easier if you're here. Is that okay? We'll do this one? All right, so I have a gift to be the human calendar as well. I can calculate dates, all right? So you can give me any date in history, and I can figure out what day of the week it was on, all right? So do we have any people that remember, like, a kid's birthday, a wedding, something like that, okay? Way in the back. Just start with month, day, year. Wednesday, about 3:30. Just kidding on the time. But 66, Wednesday, right? Wednesday, there you go. All right, come on, it's tougher dates. Yep. October 2nd, 47, right? Thursday. You're born on a Thursday. Let's see if he can get there. Should be, dude. See how computers are so slow? Right? There you go. Was that, October 2nd? I think he said 46, didn't he? What'd you say? 47. I said it right anyway. I got a lucky guess. Yeah, go ahead. Anton, go ahead.
June 13th, 2047.
Ooh, a future date will be a Thursday. It's almost Friday the 13th, but not quite. I think. I don't know. I'm just guessing at this point. I just hope James makes me look good. Come on, James. Thursday. All right. Good job, buddy. All right. So I can calculate any day of the week and figure out what day of the week it was on. It seems like a different type of trick, like what purpose would that serve? But it played a big role in my life, and so I want to share that with you next. But first, can we give James a big hand for helping out, buddy? Thank you, buddy. Great job, man. Good seeing you in person, all right? I'll see you out. All right, so now we're going to think like a calculator. To show you all these things that I've done and that I said I could teach you how to do, there's a couple things I want to show you. And we're going to start with this app on the iPad. It's called Whiteboard Pro. Let me make sure that it's, see, it works. It's just a little tricky. All right, so here we go. Everybody, take a look at this. I am going to write something down that you all did when you were about 9 years old. Our teacher made us write these 10 numbers across the page. And I'll never forget this day. It was in 4th grade. I was 9 years old. And our teacher wrote down 0 through 9. And I was not a good student. I was more of a troublemaker and bored and, just trying to fill the time. And for some reason, I stopped my teacher and I said, hey, wait a minute. Who picked those shapes? Why does the 4 look like that? Why does the 7 why does the 3 look like the 2? Who picked those shapes? Why did they pick those shapes? And my teacher looked at me like, wow, I've never even thought about that. I don't know the answer to that. She asked some math friends. They didn't know the answer to it. We started asking more people. Nobody could tell me the answer. I was like, how is it we're using these? And nobody can even tell me where they came from or why they look like they do. So it's taken me about 30 years. I've searched the world. And what I want to do is first introduce to you what I call chapter 0. I believe it's the missing chapter in math. That if we had all learned what you're about to learn now first, it would give every kid on our planet a chance to really understand math. But we start off wrong. First off is look at how many numbers are up there. How many numbers did I write down? 10. Is there a 10 on there anywhere? No. So when you turn on a calculator, look at this calculator. How many buttons have numbers on that machine? There's 10. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's no 10 on a calculator. But here's what we do to kids, and you guys have all done this your whole life, is we confuse people. Because here's what we do. The human body has 10 fingers, and we've all learned to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's indoctrinated in our brain. It is everywhere. And this is what's confusing us. Because when you turn on a calculator, it always starts at 0. The only reason a calculator works is because it starts at 0. So if you want to turn on your calculator, you have to start at 0. So watch this. 10 fingers, 10 digits. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's really 0 through 9. No magic. It's just thinking like a calculator. So everybody please take your hands, put them up in the air. Shake out that 1 through 10. A bunch of crazy Romans did that to us. Close your fists. And now start with 0 on the first finger. You ready? 0.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So now you're all thinking like a calculator, 0 through 9. So I can share with you the different things that happened to me that allowed me to have this sense of numbers, I guess. But look at the shapes up here. I asked my teacher where the shapes come from. They didn't know. I found the answer, I think. The inventors of this language were fighting the Roman numerals. The Roman numerals were the biggest number system in the world. The Roman Empire was managing the world, basically. And so Roman numerals were what were trusted. Your finances were done in Roman numerals. Everything in society was done in Roman numerals. They were trusted. This was like magic. This was this new invention, this new language of numbers. So nobody trusted them. So they were doing everything they could to make this as easy as possible to teach. They came up with a brilliant idea. The shapes were meant to be able to communicate to you the value of each shape by how many angles are in the shape. So they looked a little bit differently. The 0 is a circle. How many angles in a circle? 0. So when you look at that shape, you know there's a value of 0. The number 1 started out a little bit differently. It started like that. And this shape gives you 1 angle right there. So everybody knew that shape had a value of 1. The number 2 started out like our letter Z. And this shape gives you 1, 2 angles. So everybody knew that shape had a value of 2. The number 3 started out like a hieroglyph, looked like that. This shape gives you 1, 2, 3 angles, 3 corners. So everybody knew that had a value of 3. The number 4 looked a little differently. It started out like this. And this shape gives you 1, 2, let me go back here. 2, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. See how that works? Pretty easy, right? I mean, it makes sense when you start to think about it. 5 was tough. They had to put a tail on it. This gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 angles, 5 corners. 6 was really easy. They just put a box on it. Looked like that. This shape will give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 corners, 6 angles. And when I'm doing shows at schools, it's always funny because the kids don't care about anything until they get to 7. They're like, how are you going to get 7 angles out of that? But somebody really brilliant came up with this. They added 2 lines. This gives you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Isn't that so simple, right? But it would have taken me like centuries to figure that out. And now 8. 8 was the easiest one. It's just an hourglass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. And 9 was the tough one. They called this one the ugly duckling. Looked pretty bad, but it got the job done. That's 9 angles right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So why don't we learn that in like 3rd grade? Everybody should know that. It just seems so cool. Like when I show this to students, they feel connected to numbers. They feel like they know something they didn't know before. It makes them feel like numbers, they can understand them better, might be their friend. So this is what was happening to me in 4th grade. Everybody got that? Cool? Easy, right? Okay. So now let's go back to the numbers again, 0 through 9. And now, same day, our teacher now wants us to write down these 10 numbers again. And this time we have to spell them. So in your head, spell each number, 0, Z-E-R-O, 1, O-N-E, and so on. What number up there, when you spell it, has the same number of letters as its number value? 4. 4 is spelled F-O-U-R. Maybe it's because I was in 4th grade. I was fascinated on the number 4 in 4th grade, maybe. But I was writing down these answers, and I noticed that 4 had 4 letters, and I was just so excited. I ran up to my teacher. I was like, this is incredible. 4 has 4 letters. And she's like, what's wrong with you, Scott? Who cares? The 4 has 4 letters. I said, it's really cool because no other number does that. 0 doesn't have 0 letters. 1 doesn't have 1 letter. 7 doesn't have 7 letters. The only number in English that has the same number of letters as its number value is the number 4. I was so intrigued by that, and that's what made me notice the next thing. Is take a look at the numbers up here. Which numbers up here, when you spell them, use 4 letters? Say it when you see them. I heard 5. What else? 0. That's the one people usually miss. There's another one. I heard it. 9. So we have 0, 4, 5, and 9 are all 4-letter words. And maybe you noticed how many numbers have 4 letters? 4. So I'm freaking out again. I run up to my teacher. I go, check this out. 4 numbers have 4 letters. She's like, who cares? What's the big deal? I said, this is the way, I mean, it makes sense because look, It splits your numbers. When you're doing it this way, watch where the four-letter words end up. 0 through 4, 5 through 9. The four-letter words are bookends on your fingers to help you remember to count from 0 to 4, 5 to 9. 10 has nothing to do with numbers, all right? Everybody cool? And then one other number. It's no big deal, but I have to bring it up because it was a really funny moment. My teacher, I was working on the number 7, and I was looking at the word spelled S-E-V-E-N. And I caught it right away. I don't know why. Maybe you guys still haven't noticed it, or you eventually did. But if you cross off the S, you end up with the word even. But 7 is an odd number. So I just walked up to my teacher. I said, who put the word even in an odd number? Why did you do that? And she's like, oh, I never noticed that before. No big deal. I was like, are you kidding me? This is a huge problem. We have to fix this immediately. And I didn't even sleep that night. I was so distraught over this. But it hit me the next day. We had to change 7 to sod. Try it one time. You're not liking it. That's okay. It's all right. It's probably not going to catch on. But and it would mess up my whole four-letter word thing, so it's okay. But this is how I started thinking about numbers, and it was really challenging for my teachers because I was asking all these crazy questions. They didn't know where I was coming from next. But the next day is the day that changed my life. 4th grade, Mrs. Love's class, Herkimer, New York. I am in the back of the room where I always sat next to my best friend. Him and I were on the same baseball team, and we would talk about math the whole time. And for some reason, our teacher was showing us how to do this. We had to learn how to add numbers where you carry. All right, so 7 plus 2 is 9, 10, 14. Carry. So can anybody tell me the answer to that? I think I already heard it. I did, 54. Who got that so quick? Wow, that was very cool. I'll quiz you later. All right, so let's try this. How did everybody do it when I asked you to add this up? Did you go 7 plus 2 is 9, plus 1 is 10, plus 4 is 14, write down the 4, carry the 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus the 1 is 5. Is that how you do it? Worst way to add. Absolutely the worst way to add those 4 numbers together, and yet we teach every kid on the planet to do that. I got really lucky that day because I was not paying attention to my teacher. I didn't hear that we had to add these numbers up from the right and then carry and all that stuff. I did not hear a word. And she saw me not paying attention. She said, Scott, why don't you come on up and do this problem for us? I was totally busted. I'm walking up to the front of the room thinking, I already hate math. I'm going to hate math even more now when I get done with this. I get up to the board, and for some reason, my brain went backwards. I started over here at the tens. I said, that's a 10, that's a 10, that's a 10, that's a 10. So I started keeping a running total in my head. 10 plus 10 is 20, plus 10 is 30, plus 10 is 40. And then I just kept going. 40 plus 7 is 47, plus 2, 49, plus 1, 50, plus 4, 54. And I just wrote down the answer. My teacher was amazed that I got it right because she thought I was not listening. And she said, Scott, how did you get this answer? Where's your carry? You're supposed to put a 1 up here. I said, I don't even know what you're talking about. What's a carry? She goes, you have to start over here and go this way and carry. And I said, oh, I started over here and I went this way. She goes, no, you have to go this way. I said, but I'm faster than you going this way. She said, all right, you do this one. So everybody try this one on your own and see how you do. Just raise your hand when you get the answer. Please don't say it out loud so everybody can experience it. Just raise your hand. Already? Come on. Keep them up. I want to see who gets it and who's not getting it. Really, what's the answer? Say it. 88. You know what's funny? When I started the show, I added up a whole bunch of 2-digit numbers. I raced the calculator. I beat the calculator. I got it right, the first one. And I stopped the show and I asked all of you, how many of you can do that? And do you remember your reaction? You all started laughing out loud, like that I even asked you. No less wanted to show you how to do it. How many of you got that right? Almost everybody in the room. First try. If you'll practice this for 5 minutes, ask your friends or family to write down some 2-digit numbers, practice adding them up, you'll be able to do this faster in your head than anybody on a calculator. 20, 40, 60, 70, 79, 88. Boom, start grouping, you're gonna be like that. Little kids do this, little 3rd, 4th, 5th graders, beating their teachers, punching the numbers into the calculator. So when I asked you if you could do that and you all started laughing, you didn't think you could do it, and now you know how easy it is and you can do it, here's my next question to you. What else can you do that you didn't think you could do? What limits do we put on ourselves? What limits are we putting on our kids with our education system and our mentality in society? How we think like this limits our brain activity, limits our potential. It doesn't allow us to reach our potential. So this was an accident that happened to me in 4th grade that changed my life, because from that point forward, I would always look for an easier way to get the answer. When we started learning division, multiplication, all these things, I would look for easier ways to get the answer. Just give you one more example, because I want to move on to something else, is multiplication. What's 7 times 7? 9 times 9? 12 times 12? No math. You have all memorized those questions. Not one person in this room calculated anything. You all memorized this stuff. We teach our kids to memorize their math. 7 plus 7, 9 times 9. These are all memorized. They're not learning it, they're memorizing it so they get the passing grade, teacher gets paid, the parents are happy, and then they wake up in algebra and go, what happened? What's going on? You know, there's no understanding of basic arithmetic. So I just want to show you one more thing that happened to me. What's 7 times 11? 4 times 11? 11 is a magic number. I was 11 years old when I noticed this, so it really got my attention. Here's how we do arithmetic. 24 times 11, not just in America, but around the world. We teach kids to go like this. 4 times 1 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2. Don't forget the 0 where it's all wrong. 4 times 1 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2. You add these all together. Is that how you guys multiply? Worst way to multiply. All right, so let me show you the fastest way. There's 6 ways to multiply numbers together, but we only teach one, the worst one, by the way. It literally is a trick, but I can't get into all those today, but I just want to show you this one about the number 11, because I was 11 when I noticed this, but watch how easy 11 is. Any number times 11, 3 steps to getting the answer. First step, just take this back number and drop it down here on the back. Take the front number, drop it into the front, and then just add them together. What's 2 plus 4? 6, and put it in the middle. Same answer. No, hardly any work, right? It's an easy mental exercise. So let's try it. I'm going to erase that. Let's all try one. Let's do 32 times 11. What's the answer? 3, 2. What's in the middle? 5. So what is 43 times 11? 473. You're not doing a lot of arithmetic, but you're not memorizing anything either. This gives your kids a chance to break out of that 10 by 10 memory box that we make kids go through, all right? Okay, so I talked to Jim about this before the show, and I want to do more math, but I only have so much time, and I really want to get into something that's very time sensitive. I didn't know what to do with my gift. I was in school, my parents didn't know what to do with me, my teachers didn't know what to do with me. I was in upstate New York, we didn't have a gifted program, and I was not very attentive. I was more into sports, so I was more of a distraction for my teachers, and I ended up not graduating high school. I failed English my senior year by 1 point, and they would not give me my high school diploma. In New York, you have to have an English credit. Your senior year, I had scholarships for math, baseball, different things, forfeited everything, Regent scholarships. It was a very painful day in my life. My teacher failed me by 1 point on an essay so that I couldn't graduate, and it was a brutal, brutal day. Had to turn in my gown, missed my graduation event, cancel my party. It was a brutal day, brutal week. And I decided to run. And so I joined the United States Air Force, and I left upstate New York, and I got as far away as I could. I went in the Air Force. They heard about my skills, and they took me to Japan as a special duty assignment. I got to do some crazy stuff, learn Japanese, do all kinds of really crazy projects, things like that. It was a lot of fun. But about 4 or 5 years into my Air Force time, my supervisor's son failed 2nd grade math. And he said, hey, can you sit down with Travis and just talk to him? Show him some things. We know you're good with numbers. And I sat down with him for 30 minutes. The next day, his school called and said, I don't know what you told this kid, but you got to come in and talk to the rest of the class. I had never spoken publicly. I walked into a group of 2nd and 3rd graders. There were maybe 25 of them. I had the most amazing 40 minutes of my life. Those kids were so excited about what I could do, but more importantly, they were so excited about what I was showing them. I was like, holy cow, I have this God-given ability, but to find a way to use it, to inspire others, is just dream come true. I ran back to my base. I said, I got to get some time off. Please give me the afternoons off so I can start visiting more schools. And my big supervisor said, no, absolutely not. So I snuck in some schools when I could on my own private time, and I just kept getting more and more requests. And so I finally decided to get kicked out of the Air Force on purpose, which is a very awkward thing to do. And to do it without going to jail is really tricky. So it took me a little bit. I got out. And the thing is they gave me a big re-enlistment bonus when I re-upped, and so they wanted all that back. So I woke up on 8/8/88 with nothing. The Air Force had taken my car and what others, like stereo, whatever, just stuff that, I'd blown my re-enlistment bonus on. And I had nothing except my old car from high school, a 65 Buick Skylark convertible. I pawned it for $1,200, bought a $700 plane ticket to LA to get on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. I had spoken with them on the phone, and I went out there, had a great meeting, and they said, great, we love you, you're gonna be on the show, give us your phone number. I was like, I don't have a number. They're like, well, just give us, how do we get a hold of you? I was like, I don't know. I have $200 in my pocket, I've never been to Los Angeles. I need to be on the show like tonight. And they said, that's not how it works. I ended up homeless in Los Angeles for a month, 28 days, never forget it. Just do what you can. And I met this guy who had a company called, I can't remember the name of it, sorry. But it was just a small business, and it was right on Wilshire Boulevard. And he said, Scott, I'll let you run this part of the office during the day, and at night you can use my office as an apartment. I have a shower, bathroom. You can just use it as an apartment. During the day you work, and at night you can stay here. And I was like, wow, this is great. So I got a gig and a place to stay all at the same time. Well, the only bummer was 28 days later, he got kicked out and his company got shut down. So I lost my job in my house the same day, so it was good and bad. So I ended up with nothing there. And he goes, hey, I got a friend in Florida who wants you to fly down there and help him with his project. He's got a little money, he wants to get started. So I flew down to West Palm Beach, Florida, and this guy had invented a glow-in-the-dark doorknob for hotel rooms, for security, for emergency exits. I was like, wow, that's either brilliant or ridiculous. But they're gonna pay me, so I'm gonna go try to sell it. So 30 days, we met every major hotel chain in Florida, and we sold 0 glow-in-the-dark doorknobs. So I was out of money, I was out of time. This guy didn't have anything left, I had nothing. I called my family. My little sister Cindy was living in Phoenix, Arizona. And she said, Scott, just get to the airport, I got a plane ticket waiting for you. And come to Phoenix, you can stay at my boyfriend's house for a while, get situated. So it was right after 8/8/88. I'm waiting in West Palm Beach. I have nothing to do that night. I have nowhere to stay. I have 20 hours before my flight, and I walk into the West Palm Beach Public Library, and I'm going through the math section, which most homeless people do, when they're hanging out at the library's math section. And I walk through and I see this little book. It's like this big and this thin. It's ancient. It's over 100 years old, and nobody had checked it out in like 50 years. And the guy had said that there's a calendar, a way to calculate the day of the week of the calendar. I was like, all right, it's all numbers. I can handle the numbers, so let's see what the formula is. So I wrote down, after a few hours of looking at it, reading through how he was doing it, I took on a 3.5 by 5 index card with a little pencil that you get at the library, and I wrote down this little algorithm, put it in my pocket, got on the plane the next day, and got this algorithm in my head so that I could figure out what day of the week it was on. I landed in Phoenix. My little sister Cindy picks me up at the airport. And I said, Cindy, what's your birthday? July 23rd, 68. I was like, oh, you're born on a Tuesday. She goes, who cares? I was like, great, that's gonna be a good skill. As it's worked out, now, serving as the global ambassador of World Maths Day, which I'll tell you about at the end, every school I visit, hundreds of kids. The best part is not my show. The best part is afterwards, the kids all get a card from me, and they put their name and their birth date down. And I get to have a moment with them. I get to say their name. I get to look at their birthday. I get to tell them it was a Tuesday or a Friday, autograph it. Just have a few seconds with each kid. And that is the coolest part of what I do. I get to see the kids' reactions to what I taught them during the show. I get to do something, not just some random math trick. I'm giving their birthday. These kids are running home and saying, Mom, was I born on a Friday? This guy figured it out in half a second. It connects me with them on a whole different level. It's really turned into something special for me. But we have a very special day coming up very soon. 12/21/12. For those of you who don't know, that's the end of the Mayan calendar. You've all heard about this, right? Okay, so I don't have to get into that. The Mayan calendar comes to an end of a cycle on December 21st, 2012. after I discovered that I could calculate the day of the week, all these other questions started coming to my head. Why do we use a calendar that's so difficult to figure out what day of the week a date is on? Here is the algorithm you have to do to figure out what day of the week a date is on. You have to take the year plus the year divided by 4 plus the date plus the month divided by 7. That's what I have to do to calculate what day of the week a date is on. I have to put all those numbers in, all those variables. For those of you that are writing it down, just so you have it if you want it, here are the variables for the months. Each month has a number valued. It's not 1 through 12. It goes like this. January is a 0, February is 3, March is 3, April 6, May 1, June is 4, July is 6, August 2, September 5, October 0, November 3, December 5. Those are the values you got to know. So there's all kinds of numbers floating around. But I won't get into the algorithm of this as much as I will the questions it made me ask. Why are we using this crazy calendar? Do you know the calendar we use is called what calendar? Gregorian calendar. Anybody know why it's called Gregorian? Pope Gregory the 13th in 1569 realized that the calendar we were using from the time of Julius Caesar was miscalculating leap years. They were miscalculating leap years this whole time. So the only reason, I don't want to say the only reason, the big reason the Roman calendar, the Gregorian calendar exists is to calculate Easter. Easter is the big day. It has to be after a full moon, after the spring equinox. There's all these little variables that have to be added up to keep this very special day to them on the right day. Because they miscalculated, they were off by 10 days. So from 1569 to 1582, the Pope Gregory and his team tried to figure out what to do, and here was what they did. Everybody went to bed October 5th, 1582, and they woke up on October 15th, 1580. They decided to just skip 10 days. People missed birthdays, weddings, rent. People were crazy. Russia was so mad they didn't adopt it for like 300 years. They were so upset. It really offended everybody, but the Pope did it. Papal decree. You couldn't do that today. Just say, hey, let's just skip 10 days. But the Roman calendar makes no sense. We start the year on January 1st. Can anybody tell me why? Why do we start the year on January 1st? There's no reason. There's nothing to it. It has no natural thing to it. That nature doesn't say, hey, it's December 31st. It's a mechanical clock telling us that. It's a man-made clock. So I started questioning everything about time. How long is a year? 365. This year, 366 leap year, but 365 normally. Why are there 365 days in a year? That's right. That's all it takes the earth to go around the sun. 365 days. That's why we're doing that, all right? We had nothing to do with that. That was a natural order. How long is a month? 28, 29, 30, 31. Unbelievable that we use this word. Month used to mean month. Month is based off of a lunar cycle, a moon cycle. But now we got 28, 29, 30, 31. Nobody knows what day Christmas is, what day your birthday is going to be. Unbelievable. It's like getting a curveball every day when you wake up. You got to check with Hallmark to see what day it is. It's a calendar that literally shuts our brain down from understanding time. Why do we call September September? Do you know what Sep means? 7. But September is our 9th month. Oct means 8, like octopus, but October is our 10th month. Nov means 9, but November is the 11th month. Dec means 10, but December is the 12th month. The names don't even mean what they say. When you talk about September 11th, 9/11, when you say September 11th, you're saying 7-Eleven, like a store. But it's really, it's not. So the words we choose to use don't even mean what they say. For those of you in finances, the first 6 months of the year have 181 days. The second half has 184. There's 3 extra days in the second half of the year. That has to impact financials, but yet we don't reflect it. It's just sort of this gap. So if you get paid on the 15th every month, and if sometimes the 15th falls on the weekend, you don't get paid till after the weekend. Who's making all that interest? I call that the floating penny. There's this magic penny that somebody's in charge of that we aren't. And so my goal is, well, it wasn't a goal, but I was visiting a school in Phoenix, Arizona, and just as a favor to a friend, and you never know what day something's going to happen. It was 1999. The actual date was 5/5/99, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. I visited a school, and a little girl asked me to count by the number 28 to do my world record. I go 28, 56, 84, 112, 140, 168, 196, 224, 252, 280, 308, 336, 364. I heard myself say 364. I was like, wait a minute. 13 28s is 364. Why aren't we using that calendar? 13 months with 28 days, but we're missing a day. So I was like, what are we going to do about that, right? Well, I get home that day, Cinco de Mayo, 99, and I'm looking at this number, 13 times 28. 13 months, 28 is only 364. And then it hit me. We need to count zero. So I added a 0 day. The first day of the year is 0. And then there's 13 months with 28 days in each month. Our human bodies are a 1328 time machine. The human body has 13 major joints. You've got a shoulder, is this, an elbow or something, a wrist, right? That's 3, you got 3 more here. And then you got hip, knee, ankle, that's 6 there, that's 12, and your spine is 13. Your body has 13 major joints, and all of our bodies work off of a thing called a biorhythm, which is a 28-day cycle. But our calendar disguises all these patterns. We can't see the lunar cycle phases. We can't sense our own patterns. We can't see our financial patterns. The calendar disguises all those things. And so, I don't know why, but that summer of 99, I decided to create the human calendar. It's a 13-month calendar. Every month has 28 days. 28's a perfect number. It's 4 weeks. If we had a 28-day calendar, every month, the numbers would be the same day of the week every month. The first would always be a Monday. Second would always be a Tuesday. The 28th would always be a Sunday. Every number would be the same day of the week every month of every year. Sucks for your birthday. But other than that, it's good for finances, it's good for patterns, it's good for all that stuff. So I invented this calendar, and I was so excited. I took all summer of 99. I read every book about calendars I could find. Chinese, Mayan, all these different calendars. And I was like, why do we do the things we do? Who picked how long a week is? Where did the week come from? It's 4 quarters of the lunar cycle. Where did we pick the day? Who picked 24? Who picked the day? Well, the day is the Earth spinning one day, 24 hours. We didn't come up with that. What did we come up with? We came up with the second. How long is 1 second? Who picked that? Who's in charge of that? Why isn't it that long? Why isn't it that long? Who picked how long a second is? Because the whole leap day thing happens because the time measurements we choose to use don't match up to the natural cycles of Earth and the space around us. So why did we choose a second that doesn't add up to anything? If we want to fix the leap year, we could change the second. We changed it just 70 years ago. The United States changed how long a second was. It went from a basic atom to a cesium atom, which altered, had to be to do with the nuclear and all these different clocks they were making at the time. But we changed how long a second was. We could do that again and eliminate the whole leap year. So I've invented this calendar, the human calendar, and I was so excited. I was going to save us from Y2K. Remember Y2K? I thought that was it, December 31st, 99. We're going down, man. These computers are going to crash. People are going to be mad at each other, and it's going to get ugly. And for some reason, on 9/9/99, the first day of Y2K, I used to be a computer programmer, so I thought that all the nines would scare the computers into thinking it was the end of the world. So 9/9/99. So I asked the Arizona newspaper to do a story that day on my new calendar called the Human Calendar to save us from Y2K. So excited. I had an interview set up, biggest newspaper in Arizona. So I booked a tea time with my best friend. His name's Alice Cooper, rock and roller guy. Some of you probably know who he is. And we've been playing golf for about 20 years. I said, hey, let's go play the course this morning before I go do all this stuff. And we get there at 6:30 in the morning. And my assistant calls and says, hey, Scott, the newspaper did not print the story about your calendar. I was so distraught because, you only get a day like this once in a lifetime, 9/9/99. And the newspaper guy says, we decided to wait till next week. It would fit better in the paper. I was like, you missed 9/9/99, the whole reason we were doing this. I was so distraught. Alice says to me, he runs our Bible study every Wednesday morning. So he says to me, he goes, Scott, don't worry. Everything happens for a reason. I was like, I hate when people say that. We get to the 18th hole. We're in Phoenix, Arizona, 18th hole. It is 9 a.m., and it's in Phoenix, Arizona. And we get to the 18th green. And Alice said to me, hey, Scott, today's 9/9/99. I wrote a song called 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. Today's 9/9/99. How come 18 adds up to 9? I was like, oh, that's a great question, Alice. That's easy, though. Everything times 9, the answer will add up to 9. Like 3 times 9 is 27. 4 times 9, 36. 5 times 9, 45. Every answer times 9, that answer adds up to 9. And Alice goes, okay, I don't care. And I'm driving home, and I'm thinking about it, and it hit me. I looked at my calendar. It's a 13-month calendar. And for some reason, my brain goes, 1 plus 3 is 4. 13 minus 4 is 9. And I just started laughing out loud, like, what a coincidence. To notice that if you take the number 13, add up its digits, and put the sum underneath, that the answer will be 9. On 9/9/99, I was like, that is such a weird coincidence. And a minute later, I'm walking by my microwave, and I see the number 11. And my brain goes, 1 and 1 is 2. 11 minus 2 is 9. I was like, what is going on? What's happening here? 10. 1 plus 0 is 1. 10 minus 1 is 9. 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. 14 minus 5 is 9. 17. 1 plus 7 is 8. 17 minus 8 is 9. 19. 1 plus 9 is 10. 19 minus 9 is 10. I was like, what is going on? Everything goes back to 9. I thought it was a practical joke somehow. Somebody messing with me. And then I realized that it worked for all these numbers. And I was like, I'm the human calculator in the Guinness Book of World Records. And I don't know that all numbers go back to 9. Every kid on the planet must know this. I moved a lot when I was a kid. We had tough times. We moved like 20 times before I was 16. So I figured maybe I just missed a cycle in school, missed a class. Maybe I was sick that day that they taught this. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know who to talk to. I finally started calling some friends and said, hey, everybody, just for fun, think of your age. Add the 2 digits together. Now take that total and subtract it from your age. And you should get a number that adds up to 9. Did it work for you? It works for every number. Some of you, watching you as you were trying to do that, your eyes glazed over. So, let me show you a simple way to make 9 come alive for you. Especially for the little kids, if you have kids in your life. This is an easy way to get them to think about 9. To make numbers add up to 9, just start writing numbers like this. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And now keep going underneath backwards. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You see the pattern? What's 0 plus 9? 1 plus 8, 2 plus 7, 3 plus 6, and 4 plus 5. Okay? So now you can make every number go back to 9. All right? So let's try some numbers and see how you do. Let's do the number 20. So we added up. 2 plus 0 is 2. 20 minus 2 is 18. The answer, 1 plus 8 is 9. Say any number out loud. 79. 7 plus 9 is 16. 79, take away 16 is 63. 6 plus 3 is 9. Say a 3-digit number. 3 what? Oh, 374. 374. 3 plus 7 is 10. Plus 4 is 14. Write down the total. 374 minus 14 is 360. 3, 6, and 0 is 9. This works to infinity. Nobody ever noticed it. I don't know why, but it really freaked me out for quite a while. I didn't know what to make out of it. I took 2 years traveling the world, visiting schools all over the world, saying, hey, what is this called? Who discovered it? What century was it in? What purpose does it serve? Couldn't get any answers. Got invited to be a speaker at the National Math Teachers Convention in America. Did this, showed them how all the numbers go back to 9. I turned around and I said, how many of you teachers knew that before you walked in the room today? And not one teacher raised their hand. And it made me realize that maybe I've run into something here. But it took me 2 years to figure it out, and I'll share with you the purpose that it serves. I was on tour in Australia, and a guy named Adam Spencer is a well-known media guy down there, a big radio show in Australia, Sydney, Australia. And he's also a math guy. And I'm doing an interview on his show. It's right before I go to the airport to fly back to the United States. It's the end of the tour. And he hands me his book as a gift. He wrote a book all about the numbers 1 through 100. I was like, Adam, this is fantastic. I said, but I got one big complaint. You forgot the most important number, 0. You forgot 0. He goes, 0 doesn't mean it. I was like, I was offended. I was offended on the air, almost to fisticuffs. And we talked about 0 counting, not counting. I was like, it counts. I'm flying home that night. I'm at 35,000 feet in the middle of the ocean somewhere, and it hit me that there's a purpose for this pattern. Play along. What's 1 plus 1? Can any of you please prove to me that 1 plus 1 is 2? Anybody? Yeah, go ahead. Very good. Okay, so she took an object, another object, put them together and said she's got 2 objects. Therefore, 1 and 1 is 2. Everybody agrees with that, right? But now, when you got to do 17 plus 33, unless you're an alien, you don't have enough fingers on your hands to do this, to count by checking, physically checking, all right? So other than physically checking and counting things, how can you prove to me 1 plus 1 is 2? Other than punching it in a calculator or asking a math teacher to check it for you, how could you prove to me 1 plus 1 is 2? Yeah. You can add by 1, right. Increase by 1 like the number line. That's a good idea. Okay, what else? There's no answer. We don't have any. That's why we make our kids memorize their math. 1 and 1 is 2. 7 and 7 is 14. 9 and 9 is 18. But now, you all know the secret to numbers, so I can share with you the purpose of this pattern. Look at the number 11. The number 11 has a pattern hidden in it to teach your brain 1 plus 1. There's a 1 and a 1 in this number, right? You all have memorized 1 plus 1 is 2. Let's plug it in. What's 11 minus 2? If you get 9, everything's fine. If you think 1 plus 1 adds up to 3, plug it in. What's 11 minus 3? It's not 9, so it tells you that something is wrong. Only the right answer will make it go back to 9. So if you want to experience, if you want to learn 2 plus 2, just look at the number 22. There's an exercise in there. So all you do is add up the numbers. 2 plus 2 is 4. 22 minus 4 is 18. Look at my answer. Does it add up to 9? Then everything's fine. Every number does this. This is what I believe is the missing chapter in every math book. My goal as the ambassador of World Maths Day is to reach every 9-year-old on the planet to teach them this simple pattern so that when they're 9 years old, every number on our planet will go back to their age and make them feel like every number is their friend. It'll eliminate the anxiety that kids have about basic arithmetic. It'll revolutionize the relationship that students understand about numbers and how they work together. Now when you're watching a football game or a basketball game, you see a player's number and it's 34. You guys can, there's an exercise waiting to happen. 3 plus 4 is 7. 34 minus 7 is 27. 2 and 7 is 9. Look at all the math they did just to get to 9. I promise you, when you leave today or you're watching TV later on, you're driving home, you see a number somewhere, you're driving home, you see a speed limit sign that says 55. Just let your brain go. 5 and 5 is 10. 55 minus 10, 45. 4 and 5 is 9. You just exercised this muscle in your brain. On the show Superhumans, they said that when they looked at my brain under the MRI, fMRI, that one area of my brain lights up tremendously. It's called Area 44. It's right here above your left eye on the side of your head next to your temple. This is where we all have a little calculator. It's about the size of a dime. And they said that when they saw mine doing my world record, that it was 4.5 times as large as normal. And the doctor said the only way I could do that is either bumping my head several times or discovering a way to make this thing bigger and faster. What I just shared with you, I believe, is an exercise that is going to revolutionize the relationships between numbers and humans. Numbers are the most powerful language on the planet Earth. They're the most precise, the most popular, the most powerful. They're everything, and yet we are so afraid of this beautiful language. Please help me eliminate that anxiety. If we can get kids on board of learning this basic stuff, having a basic foundation of basic arithmetic, being able to add, subtract basic numbers in your head, knowing all numbers go back to 9, so you don't have to feel like you got to guess at 8 plus 8. You can check it in your head. It will eliminate this fear and anxiety that kids have. And all I can tell you is I've seen watching a lot of your facial reactions. It's really fun. I learn a lot about people by watching you react. And one thing I want to share with you is this, is if you have kids at home, and they come home from school and they say, hey, Mom, Dad, I need some help with the long division today. I'm just not getting it. And you just start laughing out loud. You just, I haven't done this since 1993. I don't even know, what's that, long division? Go get your big brother or something, Here's what your kid just heard. They're looking at you. You got a job, money, car, house, food, clothes, traveling, and you can't do long division. So why do they need to learn long division? It's an attitude that is contagious in our society. It has become socially accepted to be bad at math. When I go on national TV shows, they start off the show by saying, I'm terrible at math. I'm like, wait a minute. If you were illiterate, Would you start to show off by saying, I can't read or write? It's just okay to be bad at math. We've got to change that attitude. And America is a place that we can do it. I travel around the world, but something happens in America. We're very blessed. We're in a very special country. If we could change it here in America, it would go around the world. So please, I ask you to help me out with that. I'm running out of time, but I just want to show you a couple slides. I've had a very blessed life. I found my gift. Just found a purpose to use my gift for. And now I get to travel the world as the ambassador of World Math Day. Let me go to this presentation first. I just want to give you my website so you guys can get all that. Here's my website, humancalculator.com. My sponsor, and I'm the global spokesperson for Mathletics.com. Mathletics.com is an online math resource. We have everything about math your kids will ever need to learn. Subscription-based, we have 50,000 schools that use our program. Homeschoolers around the world. We win awards all over the world. We have the coolest online environment. And when they get done doing their curriculum, we put them into the World Education Games. We just hosted the 3 largest contests online. We have World Spelling Day, World Maths Day, and World Science Day. World Maths Day this year broke the world record for the largest online event. We had over 5 million students from over 200 countries competing for 24 hours straight to find the best mathletes in the world. We can identify the top students in every country. My job as the ambassador of this company is to go visit those winning schools, to celebrate these winning students. They go on Good Morning America with me, the Today Show, Good Morning Australia. I put them on the biggest shows in the world that I can because I want us to celebrate our mathletes like we celebrate our athletes. It has become, athletes got everything, all the money, all the fame, all the TV. Our mathletes are the ones that are going to save the world, and we don't even recognize them. So we've really created an amazing program called worldmathsday.com. It's free. Please tell your kids about it, your schools about it. Literally, it's an amazing event. I don't have enough time, but I just want to show you a couple pictures. What I get to see every day that keeps me going on this mission. These are some pictures. I'm just going to skip to a couple of them. Here's the official page, worldeducationgames.com. We had a 6 through 8 March. This is pictures of some of the students around the world. Here's our Australian ambassadors. There's one little guy I want to show you, though. Is this him? No. These are brothers, though. They both won. That was cool. But there's one little guy here. Oh, this guy was pretty funny, too. Yeah, that's good. Let's see. Where is he? He's from Tasmania. If you've ever been to Australia, Tasmania is a tiny little island south. And this little guy from Tasmania won his island. And he was the most excited little guy on the planet Earth. I can't find it. When you see his picture, he's hilarious. Well, he's somewhere in here. I'm sorry I can't take all that time. Okay, so let me go back to this one. This was the best day of my life. I got to go on Oprah Winfrey's show. I don't know if you've been on Oprah or not, but when you go on Oprah Winfrey's show, when you get home that night, your life changes forever. Really an amazing energy this woman has. I can't explain it. When you walk on that stage and you sense the energy and you see the cameras and then Oprah comes out, you know your life's going to change. It's a very scary but exciting moment in my life. This day was really put me on the map. It gave me all kinds of opportunities I never expected. But an even better day was this day right here. This was my favorite day. Oprah Winfrey has an academy for girls in South Africa. And she invited me to go down there and speak to the girls. 320 girls living behind that wall. They have their own gym, their own food, their own dormitories. They live there. It's an amazing place. Nicest school in South Africa. Oprah and her team go across South Africa every year and find the 50 smartest little girls they can find that have nothing. They come from homelessness, shelters, broken families, rough situations. Kids at schools that don't have any computers, no resources, rough areas. It's amazing when you go down to South Africa and see what these kids are going through. Top 50 little girls that have nothing go behind these walls. This year, Oprah graduated her first class of little girls, and all 50 girls graduated high school. All 50 girls were accepted at universities around the world. All 50 little girls that came from nothing in South Africa are going to our colleges now. What excuse do we have? Why are our kids dropping out? Why is our dropout rate over 40%? Why are kids not inspired to go to college? We have the resources. It comes down to one thing that I've seen around the world, just my best guess, attitude. Attitude changes everything. We got to change the attitude about arithmetic and how people feel about basic math, all right? In closing, Oh, yeah, one more thing. Thanks, buddy. One more thing. This calendar that I did, this calendar day of the week thing, I can't stand the Roman calendar. So I'm introducing my calendar on December 21st, 2012. The same day the Mayan calendar ends. The Mayan calendar, thank you. It's, I didn't know this right away, but it really freaked me out when it hit me. I was doing a radio show in America called Coast to Coast with Art Bell in the middle of the night. It's like 3 hours in the middle of the night, and they have all these crazy guests, and I got to go on that show, and it's really funny to think, December 21st, 2012, the next day on the Mayan calendar is 13.0.0. It goes on to the next galactic cycle, it's called. But anyway, I've invented a calendar that has 13 months, that has a 0 day, a 0 month, and a 0 year. So coincidence or not, I don't know, but I don't believe in coincidences though. I believe that my calendar starting on December 21st, 2012 will be a revolution in time. The Mayan calendar prediction said it's the end of the time or the end of the world. I think it's a misinterpretation. I think they meant the end of time as we know it, meaning the end of this crazy Gregorian calendar that nobody understands. To show you, last thing before I go, just to show you how evil it is, and just to show you, it truly is evil. Look at the word evil. If you spell evil backwards, it's live. I can't spell that well, but it's live. And devil backwards is lived. All right, so the Romans are evil, and I'm going to prove it to you. Last thing before I go, if you'd have met me 2,000 years ago as a human calculator, you wouldn't talk to me in these numbers that we use. You'd have said Roman numerals, I, V, X. Do you remember these? I is what? 1. V, X, L, very good. C, D, 500. These are the everyday numbers in the Roman world. All right? Let's add those up. What's 500 plus 100? 600 plus 50. 650 plus 10. 660 plus 5. 666. It adds up to 666. The Romans were evil. They didn't count 0. They had no year 0. They went from 1 BC to 1 AD. If you showed up with 0 goats at the market, they didn't even talk to you. 0 is not a number. They did not count 0. It's all 1 through 10. And now think about what you do on your hands. We all do this. 1, 5, 10. Those are the first 3 Roman numerals. They have implanted this theory of 1 through 10 in our brain and in our hands. We have to interrupt that pattern and change it. And so I believe what I shared with you today is the beginning of that. The calendar will come out on December 21st, 2012. No pressure. At first, I was very serious about this calendar. I took it very personally. It didn't come out on 9/9/99. Now I have 0 fear because I'm not changing the calendar. I'm starting a new calendar. I don't have to fix the old one. I don't have to fix these crazy Romans calendar. You can, when you turn on your computer, you can choose to have the Gregorian calendar run your computer. You could choose to have the Chinese calendar, the Hebrew calendar. There's 42 calendars around the world that you can choose to use. All I'm doing is introducing one more called the human calendar. And it's going to be an adjustment period of 7 years. I have a goal of 7 years of implementing this first into businesses to show them how to save money on their bottom line, how to interpret the numbers and sales and balance out all the financial quarters and half years because there's all these flip-flops and things like that. And so my goal is the end of 7 years is that this calendar will become everyday use. And it's funny that the Bible talks about a thing called the apocalypse. 7 years, this whole 7-year period. The word apocalypse means changing of the mind. I believe that we're going to go through a revolution in how we think about time, which is really the most important thing we have, time, which I've run out of. So you can go to my website later this year, download that. Please go to World Maths Day, mathletics.com. I'm trying to change the way we feel about math. If you feel that way today, follow me on Twitter, Human Calculator, very simple. I have a Facebook page I never go to. You can go there. Other than that, if you have any questions, right, Jim, all right, come on up, Jim. Can I just do a couple questions real quick?
It's all you, man.
Jim said it's okay. Any questions? Yes, we'll start there. For the movie what? Touch. No, hang on, let me write this down. I love to learn. So the movie Touch is all about numbers? Okay, I don't have a lot of free time. I'm going to check that out. Thank you. Yes? Right. Well, first off, I won't challenge you about this, but I will say that what you learned about this 9 thing is a little bit different. There's a thing called the 9's check, which is used for all arithmetics, addition, subtraction, and so that's taught by teachers since the beginning of time. But for some reason, think about numerology, astrology. You guys ever do that? Don't do it, it's evil. But if you do astrology, they say, oh, what's your name? Oh, it adds up to 22. That makes you a 4. They reduce everything to a single digit. They were getting rid of the 9s all the time and didn't even recognize this pattern about 9 when they were doing it backwards. Because you know why? Anything that celebrates you. When the day you look up at the stars, oh, you know, those stars must mean that this is going to happen to me tomorrow. That's just a big ego trip. I really have a tough time believing that the stars are lined up to interpret all of our lives. That's a big step. But I do know that numbers are important in everybody's life. And if you're going to study numbers, get good at basic math. Don't study your horoscope. Just read the wrong one for a week and you'll see how crazy that is. Just focus on learning numbers and having this basic foundation, all right? Yeah. Any more questions? Yes.
So how could we best serve and help you with your mission? And would meeting the Secretary of Education help, or what would help you the most?
Yeah, you know, this week, it's been a very, timing-wise, thanks for asking that. Last week and this week I'm in Los Angeles trying to get a new TV show with a network. So they have this big conference where all the TV show people come in.
Would connecting with Mark Burnett help?
Yeah, Mark would be great. You know, I don't like Donald Trump that much, so probably not. But no, I'm just kidding. Donald's great. You know, having a TV show, you know, like Jamie Oliver's Food Revolution, except I just want to do Math Revolution. So if anybody can help me there, I'd be honored. The calendar, thank you. The calendar is just a fun hobby for the next few years. Don't worry about that. But I will show you what I got coming out next. The last thing, Jim, I swear almost really is the last thing almost. Is, oh, I can't, you know what, I can't, all right, I'm gonna do this. This is the dumbest thing I've ever done. I left this picture in my photos, so I have to open my photos. Man, who knows what's gonna come in here, come on, hurry up. Let me just see if I can find this. Don't look at any other pictures, just focus on that one right there. This is my next project coming out, it's called the Math Matrix. When I discovered 0 through 9, I was sitting there going, why are we teaching kids 1 through 10? So I just started writing down 0 through 9. Look at the blue letters, 0, 1 through 9, 0 through 9, 0 through 9, the blue numbers. Then I just saw a pattern, so I grabbed another pen and I started doing it the other way, 0 through 9, down, down. And it created this matrix that goes 00 through 99. Since then, I've discovered several patterns hidden in this matrix, and all I've done is created a book where if I give kids 10 crayons, 10 colors for the 10 digits, in 10 chapters, I can totally turn on the calculator in their brain. And I was going to release it earlier this year, but all these other opportunities have come up and some TV ideas and things. So I'm just sort of waiting because I want to, you know, go out, you know, really big and try to reach as many kids as possible. So if you go to my website, you'll be able to put your email in and we'll send you more information about this. That's nothing. Okay, so, all right, last question. Come on, one more question. And, yes?
Hi, Scott. It's funny that the native tribes actually have a 13-moon cycle that they follow. Is it, so when you're talking about the 13 moons, that's how most of the Indian tribes actually follow 13-moon cycles.
Yes, it's the only way to follow it. The lunar cycles are natural. Nobody can miss it. It's nothing to do with a man-made clock. I don't think we should start the year on January 1st. My calendar will begin on December 21st, 2012, because it's the winter solstice. The winter solstice, I don't know if you guys know the history of this, but the winter solstice was a big deal because every day before that kept getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Cavemen were freaking out, thinking every day was going to get shorter to where there was no day left. So when December 21st came, and then the 22nd, 3rd, 4th, and it started getting longer again, it was time to throw a party. So that's why December 25th turned into a party. It was called Saturnalia in the Roman Empire. And then when Jesus and his disciples got involved in all that stuff, they tried to appease the Christians and renamed it Christmas, or, Jesus' birthday. But before it was just Saturnalia. So my calendar is going to start on December 21st, the shortest day of the year. It's a natural thing. You'll know it's happening. You don't have to look at a mechanical clock. Thanks for reminding me of that. Yeah, true. Okay, I better go. You guys, last thing before I go, thank you for your attention, and thank you for trying to do some math. All I ask is please share what you learned today with one person in your life who's worse at math than you. All right? God bless you all. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. God bless you.